I want you to just look to the future, just 90 days. If you came here 3 times a week for 90 days, what do you think would be different about your health and fitness? And force them to say it with detail, not just, I'll probably have lost some pounds, I'll probably feel better. To surface, I need you to get detailed. How do you feel? Explain it. Give me words, 3 to 5 words. What does your body look like? What size are you? What is your weight? What are the intangibles that you feel different? What's your sleep like? What's your energy like? Make them get some clarity around what the future looks like. And that helps them to get excited about what they're buying. Because at the end of the day, I know it's just a bag of hope. Like, we know the science of how to get there, but you got to get that person motivated and filled with hope to do it. Because a lot of times they ran out of hope and they just feel like they're a lost cause, right? So this is what makes them hesitant.
This is the Reinforce Your Gym podcast with your host, Dustin Vogel. This show is about arming gym owners with the tools, strategies, and lessons they need to take their business to the next level. That way, they can make a greater impact in their community. Now, let's get to work and reinforce your gym.
All right, gym owners, let's do this. We're talking all about how to close those pesky, hesitant leads, because I know you deal with a lot of them. I know I did at my 6 locations, and I want to make sure that that does not become the crippling factor that stops you from hitting your revenue goals. All right, so that's what we're going to be talking about, how to close 75% of the people you talk to, whether they are on a trial program or they're just a walk-in. This is a skill you need to know, your team needs to know, so that you can help more people. Because to be honest, most people are going to fall in this camp. They're going to have fears, hesitations, worries, concerns. And if you don't know how to close these people, you're going to miss out on the majority of sales. And I don't want that to be you. All right. So we all get faced with the good old, I need to think about it or I'll start next month. Right. And there's this mindset of having things done when the time is perfect. But the thing is, that is just a sign that you are not giving them the confidence and assurance that they're going to be joining the program that's right for them. All right. It's a stall tactic. It's a smoke screen, as they call it in sales. And really what they're saying is like, I just didn't think your program is the right fit. Because if I was excited, I wouldn't have said that. Right. And so that is the truth. There's a lot of owners don't want to look themselves in the mirror and say, I failed to provide trust, certainty, and that's why I lost that sale. It's always like they're not ready. They're not looking to be serious. And the finger's always being pointed elsewhere. So I want you to take ownership, because that to me is like extreme ownership 2.0, right? Extreme ownership is taking responsibility for yourself. Extreme ownership 2.0 is taking responsibility for other people's actions, which I know sounds crazy, but that's what we have to do in this situation. All right. So first things first, when people say this to you, I need to think about it. Maybe next month, I want you to hear this. It is rarely about money. It's usually about fear, okay? There's fear of failure, meaning, what if I can't stick with it? You didn't explain to me how your program is going to be able to fight that ability of me being a quitter, that I've quitted on things in the past, right? So address that fear. The next is fear of judgment. What if I'm the most out of shape person? What if I don't belong? What if I don't look like all the other people? Which is why most people ask to come down to the gym, is they're really vetting the people of the building, not the equipment. We as gym owners tend to think, oh, they want to come down and see my beautiful InBody and my Smith machines. They don't give a rat's ass about that. They're like, are the people in this building like me? And there's that fear of judgment. And then the final one, which is valid, is the fear of wasted investment. Meaning they just don't come in and then they're just sending you a monthly payment and they've tried everything and this is just going to be another thing that's going to fall on that list. And so what is the real objection? Well, that is half the battle. And I can guarantee it that the reason that they have these fears is because you didn't have the antidote, which is safety, right? We feel safe. We have no fear. We don't feel safe. We have high fear. So what creates safety in a prospect's mind? Well, number one, it's not pressure, right? I am not a fan of high pressure sales tactics where you're trying to corner someone and wrench their arm and make them get their credit card out. That person will definitely have buyer's remorse and refund or talk bad about you. So what they really want is they want certainty, right? Like, I just want to feel like this is the right thing for me and I feel certain. So the way to do this is with testimonials, guys. That's why so many people say, put your best client transformation stories in the office, right? Post them on your social media. People who also had a fear, right? I like to collect all the fears that exist and have a transformation story that connects to that. This is a busy mom, right? And she was afraid that she's taking away from her kids somehow by investing in herself and not investing in her health and fitness, right? And she's taking away what could be the kids' sports programs or the kids' higher learning funds. So like that was one I wanted in my gym. How about a couple, right? Have a couple that trains with you. So when you're talking to a couple, you can point to that. Have someone that's got 2 jobs. Have the person that, has a family illness that runs through the family, cancer, heart disease, etc. Have varieties. Don't just have the same person in your office. But this is what you point to, because I know people have their guard up when you say your company is awesome. But when someone else says your company is awesome, that's where they get the certainty, right? It's why people read the reviews on Amazon before they buy it. They want to say, what are real people saying? Not the owner of the business and the team of the business. Okay, that's the first way we give certainty. The second is we provide guarantees. We de-risk the decision, right? They feel like all the risk is on them. I'm paying the money. I have to do the workouts. I have to eat. And they do. But there are things you can do to make it a little bit more de-risk. Maybe you can say, hey, if you work with me for at least 60 days, give it 2 months. If you don't love it, I'll refund you, right? How does that sound? And that is a way to make someone have some certainty of like, hey, the ball's in my court. It's in my favor. What about a trial to membership credit? Say, hey, I'm going to let you do 2 weeks for $60, $100. If you love it, I'm going to roll that over into your first month of membership. So you're actually going to get it credited to you. And you could always put some terms. I need you at least do 6 workouts, 3 a week for 2 weeks. This is another way to de-risk it, okay? And then the final part is really let them know why you have built this program to be the last program they'll ever need. Because a lot of owners focus on getting them to goal. But what I always like to highlight was like, hey, half of your annual membership, I'm getting you to goal. But then the other half, I got to teach you to maintain, because in America, we're really good at losing weight. We could come up with a lot of creative ways to do that. We suck at keeping the weight off. So that is a skill set in itself. If that everyone in the world never gained extra weight, we would all be out of jobs. So it's almost like that's the harder than the two. The losing the weight, it is hard, but it's harder to then learn to keep it off and maintain it. And so now I'm selling that person, and this is the last program you'll ever need, because you'll learn to get to your goal, but you're going to learn to keep it off. And that is a valuable skill set. All this creates safety, right? And I'm going to explain the hows and the whats, that the way we do it at our gym. You want to do the same at yours, but that's the big concepts, guys, is create certainty with success stories from customers, de-risk it with guarantees and special, offers, and then position your program and let them know what you've built so that it is the last program they will ever need, right? And so we want to future pace. That's the big thing here, is you want to help them see what's ahead, because what they're looking at is the rearview mirror, what they've done in the past that's been a massive failure. They're like, I tried this, I tried that. It's all been a mess. And what they've lost is perspective and vision for the future. Well, business owners, you guys tend to be vision strong. You tend to be really powerful in this area where they're weak oftentimes, and they don't got a vision for what their life can look like. So you got to kind of guide them through it and say, hey, you know what? I want to ask you, do you feel like this program can get you results? Like, price aside, do you feel like this has everything you need to get results? And they're going to say yes, right? And then you say, great. And if they say no, that means you got to go back and teach them what it is you do and how you'll get them to results. But once that confidence is there, say, I want you to just look to the future, just 90 days. If you came here 3 times a week for 90 days, what do you think would be different about your health and fitness? And force them to say it with detail, not just, I'll probably have lost some pounds. I'll probably feel better. To surface, I need you to get detailed. How do you feel? Explain it. Give me words, 3 to 5 words. What does your body look like? What size are you? What is your weight? What are the intangibles that you feel different? What's your sleep like? What's your energy like? Make them get some clarity around what the future looks like. And that helps them to get excited about what they're buying. Because at the end of the day, I know it's just a bag of hope. Like, we know the science of how to get there, but you got to get that person motivated and filled with hope to do it. Because a lot of times they ran out of hope and they just feel like they're a lost cause, right? So this is what makes them hesitant. Hey guys, just taking a quick break to ask for one thing. If you can give us a 5-star review, it'd mean the world to me. It helps get me feedback on what you're enjoying about the show and how we're adding value to your business. And it helps us get the word out so we can turn the tide on this war against obesity. So give us a 5-star review and let's get back to the show. Help them to just get some context into what that future looks like. Now, how do we handle the I want to think about it line? This is my favorite, right? Totally understand. What exactly do you need to think about? And that's again me putting some friction on vagueness. Like I want specificity. Is it the price? Is it our session times? Do you not like the color of my shirt? What, is it out of the way for you? Like, please give me more detail, right? And so I'm forcing them to get a little bit more specific because that's really when our brains can't figure out what we're struggling with. That's when we throw vagueness because we think it's going to get someone off our track. But then someone, hopefully you, comes into the life and forces them to be specific. So, hey, be specific here. But let's be honest, it's usually time, money, or belief. And you can even say this. You could say, what is it? Do you feel like it's not the right time? Is it about the price? Or do you just not believe this is the right program? And I'm not going to take that personally. This isn't right for you. And to be honest, there were people like that. Like I didn't offer one-on-one training. They're like, hey, I see you just do group here. I'm not really looking for group. I want one-on-one. So I just don't believe you're the right program for me. And that was totally an acceptable objection. And I guided them to the door. And I even told them about 2 local PT studios that have my stamp of approval. That's showing, that you care, is knowing when to take the loss on the chin and, being prepared for it. But those are the 3. It's like, is this not the right time? Do I got to talk to the spouse? I got to wait till Monday. I got to look at, whatever my schedule. Money, I don't know if this could literally fit in my budget, or is it belief, right? And so now we're getting really clear. And so once we isolate it, we can solve, right? When things are vague, it's like this black cloud. We're just grabbing at smoke and we can't solve it. But when you tell me that it's money or belief or time, we can isolate and address that. So that is how you overcome the I want to think about it line, right? And then we want to move to micro commitments, which are small yeses, which is, do you believe this is the right program that can get you results? Do you believe you can get here 2 or 3 times a week and give it your all? Do you believe you're in a place where you're motivated to eat healthier, right? And all these little yeses, I'm building them up so that when I go to membership, they're in a momentum mode of saying yes, yes, yes. And that is an easy, kind of extra hack any gym owner can add. Now, if we go to membership, because I like when gym owners are selling directly to membership, that's how you can impact the person the most. I feel like you can have a shorter term program in your back pocket. You can offer a 3-month commitment or even a 6 or 12-week challenge. That's another way to de-risk it, is to reduce the time. And so again, I'll joke with them. I'll say, hey, you keep asking about the cancel policy and freeze policy and something shorter. Do you not, like our program? Do you not like me? Why are you trying to get out of here? And you just got here. And I'll kind of disarm them with some humor. But at the end of the day, I want to set proper expectations, which is, hey, you didn't get here in a year. We're definitely not going to reverse it in a year. We need time to help you get to your goal. But if you're concerned about being locked in, quote unquote, I can work with you. It's either I'll put you on month to month. The price will have to be a little bit higher for that lack of commitment, or I can put you on a shorter term program, right? But the goal is we want to get a yes. We want to get them in motion, because then the hesitation goes away. They start showing up and they see they can complete the workouts and that they fit in with the group and that this is on their way to work and they can fit in their budget. And so like a person in momentum stays in momentum. So like we're in an office, we're kind of this gridlock. We want to get them into the workouts and into momentum with workouts, right? So here's the big thing. We just want to show empathy, because that obviously is going to build trust, and it's also going to help us to give that certainty, right? How do we deliver these things where you can be really hard-nosed and firm and just like suck it up, like military, like do what I say, show up, stop making excuses, you little baby. Or we can say, you know what? I understand where you're coming from. Again, if you've ever been overweight, you can truly say that. I understand what it's like to walk in your shoes. Or I have many clients that are like you that I've helped get to their goals. And, that's why I love what I do. But I would almost say on your end, explain what you've seen happen with people in their situation. Say, I know you might be low on energy. I know, again, you feel like you want to get in shape and you don't know how to get started. I know you need some accountability. That way they start to feel like, okay, he empathizes with my situation. He's saying the words I would say back to me. We're on the same page here, right? And that removes, again, fear, right? That you understand me, you get me. So when you learn the language of your customers, whether you live that experience yourself or you just learn what you keep hearing said over and over again, feed it back to them, because it locks in that feeling of understanding, right? Because you're not selling memberships, you're selling belief. You're getting them to believe in your program, believe in you. That's what we're really doing here, okay? So if they push back, I want to kind of just give you some next steps. All right. We don't want to burn the bridge. Basically, what we want to do is we want to remember these things. All right. And these will be my final kind of tips here is number one, leave them with value. If they don't sign up with you, just like I did, I said, you know what, let me refer you to the personal training studio, or let me send you, I have a free training. I did a webinar on this exact topic that you're struggling with. You don't know what snacks to make for your kids. I did a webinar on that, or I have this lead magnet, or I did a YouTube video. Like, send them free content or send them to a gym that you trust, leave them with value. I promise you, they will remember that. That leaves a great impression on someone. And it also doesn't send the signal that I only care about you if you're paying me. All right. Second, remember the word hesitation, really replace that with the acronym of fear. All right. FEAR, false events appearing real. Okay. They're in their mind thinking of the worst possible thing. What if you run my card twice? What if you lock me into a contract? What if you, again, are late always to your sessions? What if you're unprofessional? What if your program doesn't work? It's always the extreme bad, but we're always thinking the extreme good. Man, you're going to feel so much better. You're going to get stronger. You're going to lose body fat. You're going to get on medication. And so then these two extremes meet each other, and then they just end up arguing, and then they don't budge, right? I want to call out and get some names on those fears, because that's where fear wins, is when it's just this vague cloud that is owning this person. So Mike, I go into that cloud and I pull down the specifics. I'm like, is it the time? Is it the money? Is it your kids? Is it the spouse? Is it that you got a bad knee? Let's put a name on this fear, and then now we can bring it out in the light and we can address it, right? So give those fears a name. Challenge them in that way, because most people don't stop and ask, why am I afraid? Why am I, hesitant to buy? That should come to an end when they meet you. You're the person that makes fears become specific, right? And then finally, just give them an offer they can't refuse, guys. Again, de-risk it, lower the time commitment, just get 9 out of 10 people to say yes. You should be turning away very few people. And a lot of gym owners say, you get them to the doors, I'm going to close at 8 out of 10. But when I look at their actual numbers, they're closing 4 out of 10, 5 out of 10. And I tend to find a lot of it comes from blaming. They weren't ready. They, made excuses. And so again, it tends to find that those sales were lost because of hesitant buyers, and they didn't know how to navigate that. So that's why I'm making this episode. All right. Hope this was helpful. If it was, give me a 5-star review, tag your friends, share it with your team, and I'll see you guys next week. Gym owners, I don't want you to have the reputation in town as the gym that doesn't call people back. All right. We know it's critical when someone's finally made a decision to get healthy and fit that we get to them as quickly as possible. This can be solved by plugging in our remote sales reps. Okay. It's not AI. It's not a bot. It's a real human that's working on your leads, the new ones that come in from your ads and the old leads in your database. And they're there to qualify the leads, to ask them discovery questions, and to make sure they're a good fit. And then their job is to move them forward in your sales process so that you get more members month over month. All right. If you want to learn about our remote sales reps, go ahead and go to gymreinforcements.com, book a call, and we'll tell you more about it. See you then.